I'm Libby Rothschild, creator of Dietitian Boss. Welcome to my channel. My program empowers dietitians and nutritionists to create their own private practice from scratch and emboldens already established practitioners to think bigger. My method provides a step-by-step process to improve how to market yourself on social media so your practice can become far more profitable and help more people. Take my client Mark. When we started working together, Mark was already running two businesses and making $10,000 a month, but he wanted to accomplish more. He wanted his business to have more impact. He wanted to make more money, and he wanted to accomplish those goals without working additional hours. But he didn't know where to begin. This is when Mark realized that he needed a coach, and he found my Dietitian Boss program. Just 4 months later, after following my method, he more than doubled his monthly revenue without working those additional hours. Mark's ambition is contagious, and his success is the kind of thing that we like to brag about at Dietitian Boss because we can help you do this too. So, if you've already got a business up and running, congratulations. Now, let my team help you build your business so it works more efficiently and generates greater profitability. Okay, let's look at Mark's story in greater detail. Mark has a lot to be proud of. He was already making a strong monthly profit, but running two businesses meant his focus was split. Mark helps consumers with fat loss and also teaches nutrition coaches how to work with clients and run a business. He was happy with his six-figure income, but wanted to be able to keep growing without getting burnt out. I told him I could help. By following the Dietitian Boss method, Mark turned his $10,000 months into $28,000 months. How? He followed my step-by-step process to market more efficiently on social media and by tightening up his offer. The first thing I had Mark do is follow the principle of focus. We identified which of his offers was the most profitable and doubled down on that one in order to maximize profits and increase efficiency. We also increased his prices, and perhaps most significantly, we set a goal of enrollment in his online program, which is his most profitable offer. The result? He filled all the spots in his program, and with higher price points, he doubled his revenue. Mark said he knew when he started working with me that it would require some changes, like letting his one on one business take a back seat to help him focus. Together, we made the decision to let his team take over that business so he could focus on growth. We essentially flipped Mark's priorities, and that was the secret sauce. Everything doubled. Mark saw almost a linear growth from 16,000 to 19,000 to $23,000 months. And then he had his best month ever, which was just under 29,000. Pretty amazing. This is a familiar story for my team. The Dietitian Boss method supports our clients in making really impactful adjustments to their business that will maximize profits. With Mark, we started by emphasizing focus and pricing, and he quickly saw a big increase in interest and in sales. Then we took it further by helping Mark institute a marketing makeover. Now, if you followed any of my work, you know my beliefs about business. Well, there's really just one. Everything is about marketing. Having the degree is not enough. You have to be able to use it, and marketing is about sales. I can show you how to attract the perfect client, get them to come to you and ready to buy. You will provide transformation they need to achieve the health outcome you deliver. Okay, the marketing makeover. Number one, identify your ideal client. At this step, Mark said he realized when he didn't know his ideal client, he felt aimless. He did post on social, but it didn't have a specific purpose. After he focused on his ideal client, his content substantially improved. Mark started posting about the benefits of being a nutrition coach. He really values his work, and when we talked about that on social, it caught people's attention. Soon, his inbox became flooded. He revamped his offer so it aligned with his ideal client, and then he repeated the process. Soon, this targeted posting became clear and simple to him, which enabled him to work the same amount of hours by working smarter. Second, I talked to Mark about the mindset shift. Reflection is part of the dietitian boss method. Mark puts it really well. He says, I think we tend to overthink how hard things are at times. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't do something because it's difficult. It just means that's part of the journey. And that's okay. A lot of times when we feel uncomfortable or fearful, that means we're doing exactly what we need to be doing. As hard as it is to push through, it's what we need to do. It may not work all at once, but doing it anyway is how we can fulfill our potential. And I'd love to see others do it too. So would I. Now, I want to tell you a bit more about Mark and his family because what he values, what he cares deeply about, is the thing that made this tremendous change possible. Mark is a professor in dietetics. As well as being a nutritionist, he's a committed advocate for the fields. He wants to see dietitians empowered to be seen and heard. Because he knows so many young nutritionists at the college where he teaches, he's really aware that going into private practice can be a daunting thing. Mark says that he can tell that a lot of people want to do it, but there just aren't a lot of methods and ways for them to be able to put themselves out there. If anything, it almost feels like some of the structures are handcuffing nutritionists to do the opposite. So he's always been an advocate of giving dietitians a platform and getting them involved. A lot of Mark's success is because he feels so passionately about the field. He also feels passionately about his family. When I asked Mark to be specific and define what his motivator was, he shared this story about his family. You can hear all of it on my podcast. Mark is married to Amy and they have a son, Max. He shares that 2016 was a crazy year. He was at the height of his business, which also meant the height of late nights and all the rest that goes along with that. Then he lost his father suddenly to a heart attack. It was right when Amy and he were planning to get married, so a lot of things were happening all at once, both good and bad. They bought their first house, got married, and then 6 weeks after their wedding, Amy started developing symptoms, and that's when she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. After 4 rounds of chemo, she's in remission, and now they have Max, who they consider a miracle baby. And because of all this, how things have worked out, Mark expresses how much he has to live for. These are the kinds of personal stories that we all have, that when turned into motivators can really make it clear what we want to do with our business and with our lives. For Mark, his family's journey made him really want to find a way to work less and make more. This made Mark pretty coachable. I want to help you find your motivation and provide you with the know how to explain your business. Let me share with you some tips from Mark about how to get going with the Dietitian Boss method. Mark's tips for success include number one, be coachable. You have to be ready to make some changes. Stay open. For Mark, increasing his price point was uncomfortable at first, but he stayed open to the coaching and saw amazing results. Number two, embrace change. Mark was willing to let go of focusing on two businesses at the same time. He needed to focus on what was the most profitable. When you identify the place where profit meets passion, you're set up for success. Number three, empower the team. Mark didn't do this alone. He has contractors working for him who also needed to be empowered so they could support his marketing efforts on social. Number four, speak to your ideal client. Mark says, I find sometimes I'm still speaking two levels from where my ideal client is. I always have to remind myself to take a step back and stay focused on the client who I'm best able to help attract. Number five, define your motivation. You heard Mark's story about his wife Amy and his son Max. Mark was able to see adversity in his life as something that helped him overcome challenges and become really clear what his values and purpose are. These motivators helped Mark succeed, and they can help you succeed too. Mark is a great inspiration. and a great dietitian boss success story. I want you to know that you can dig deep and define your purpose too. You can build what you've already got going, and my team is fully prepared to support you on a journey that will align your business goals with your life goals, make it easier, and help more people and make more money. To hear more stories about my clients like Mark who have doubled their revenue, check out this story from Dr. Heather Finley, who took a big leap into private practice success when she went 100% virtual and then hired her first employee.